I think we can do better than that. Friday night, last night, the crowd was half the size and was twice as loud. So we can't let that be the image of New Zealand and Masterton that we portray to the world. So let's do it one more time. Are you ready for some shearing? Yeah, that's good. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, your commentators for the evening, Norm Haraway and Tuma Mullins.
Thank you, Kieran. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have a new partner in crime this year. I think I wore my old one out. But this is Norm Haraway. He's from the South Island, somewhere where there's a big, well, not trout, a salmon, where there's a salmon statue, isn't it, Norm?
Yeah, there's one of them there, Tuma, and thanks for the welcome, and great being in Masterton. Looking forward to this year's Golden Shears, the 59th occasion, of course. And yes, I'm from the South Island, Tom. Great to be here. Just to keep an eye on you North Island commentators, and just to bring a wee bit of class to the occasion, really. Yeah. I'd just like to introduce the rest of our team really quickly. Big John McBride from Taranaki, Gerald Spain up there from Invercargill, folks, and Kerry Irvine from Nelson region, and also Mavis Mullins, wherever she may be sitting. She's going to be running us through the Woolhandling. Mavis, great to see you again. So, Tuma, we won't hold everyone up. We're a wee bit behind, so let's get these boys on the stage.
Yes, that's right, Norm. Can we have our names up on the screens, please? The first event, ladies and gentlemen, is the PGG Wrightsons. These shearers will be shearing 3 merinos, 3 corridales, 3 longwool crossbreds, 3 second shear crossbreds, and 3 crossbred lambs. So that's a lot of shearing. They're allowed 3 handpieces for this event, isn't that right, Norm?
Yeah, this is a real marathon, ladies and gentlemen, over several different breeds and wool types. So without further ado, let's bring them up. Tuma.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on stand number 6, he is from Napier. He is the current world shearing champion, John Kirkpatrick.
Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, on stand number 1, your very own Pairata Abraham.
On stand number 5, ladies and gentlemen, he's a young gun, he is local, and he is a bad boy. We have Ethan Pankhurst, ladies and gentlemen.
On stand number 2, folks, ex-world champion this man, and he's up here in the PGG Wrightson National Final. Cam Ferguson from Wairarapa.
From down in the deep south where it freezes minus 20 degrees, from Matoda we have Brett Roberts.
And another young gun, ladies and gentlemen, from the deep south, Ringakaha Pawai from Gore.
Okay, Normal, we've got to give these guys a bit of time to repair their gear. They'll be mentally psyched for it. But, you know, we've got the current machine shearing champion down here. We've got a world champion here. And we've got these other young guns. It's good to see Ethan Pankhurst up here.
Future world champions, Toma. So, folks, the last night's crowd was really vocal. They really enjoyed themselves. And make sure you guys get stuck in. Support these athletes on their way through their finals that we're going to witness tonight. Get right behind them, make plenty of noise, and enjoy yourselves.
Okay, Johnny.
Well, thank you, men. Sit back, but don't sit back too long because you're going to get excited with these multi-breeds events. 5 of these different types of sheep. Merinos, corridales, long wools, second shear and lambs. 15 sheep in total. We're going to see some of the big merinos from the high country in the South Island. Alan Patterson supplies those. That's what we'll shear first. Two. And you'll see that they've got 3 hand pieces up there.
He's over here, police. He's over here.
We've just given the boys in the blue team a good feed, so they should be nice and happy. They're going to go and stare down upon Tuma Mullins. They'll have a quick look at their sheep. The sheep have been selected, of course, and gone through with a fine-tooth comb. We hope that there's been no cigarette butts or anything like that silly or stones chucked in the fleece. But the shearer, they'll just quickly go into the pen, try not to upset their penful.
Just whatever you're comfortable with.
Take a couple of minutes or better to shear the merinos. Corridales will be a bit faster. They're the half-bred merinos. Then on to the long wools. We'll be getting back to about 1:20, and then the second shear about 1:05, and then the lambs, it'll be under the minute. All in all will be done within 20 minutes or less with the pace of these shearers.
Yeah, of course, the pace is very varied, I suppose, isn't it? Very varied is the word. From the merinos to the Lambos at the end, John, isn't it? Those merinos will take a good battle. We won't go into all the details just yet because we're going to have enough time to explain that while it's unfolding right in front of your eyes. But the great thing about this event is that it is the art of a shearer that travels the world learning how to shear merinos and all different breeds and shapes and sizes and the like. So they haven't locked themselves away in the deep south or top of the North Island and just kept on shearing full wool. They've just they've travelled the country and over to Aussie and the likes and really tried to become a master of this craft.
Top qualifier into this event is the young Brent Roberts. He's probably the youngest member in the team up there tonight. Ethan Pankhurst, not that old either, but we'll see how they go. Almost got the all clear. We got the green light on. That means a go. Referee, Mr. Neil Subal. I'll set him a light. Rightio. Okay, we've got the all clear, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back in your seats, but just get ready to put your fingernails into the steel work. Here we go. Timekeepers are right. Judges, competitors, go! Ooh, the PGG Wrightson. Look at that quick drop out there from Brent Roberts, the youngster. He practiced that this afternoon, and he's probably practiced it for quite some time because he's been doing very, very well in the sheds. Also on the show shearing circuit. But you must be able to get the bread and butter to the table before you have a meal, so he goes to work every day. Here he goes, just stepping down the first off leg. Look how nice, bright and white that sheep appears now. They take that grey, dingy fibre that is worth in the excess of $20 a kilo, that stuff. And they just hope these shearers don't cut it to bits. Up over the tail, big, wide sheep on the back. They are well fed, these merinos. They've been up in the Wairarapa for a few weeks now. Alan Patterson's been sending them up here over 10 years or more. Look at these big fellas. 15 shots up the neck, maybe, you know. He'll come up there 5 times, lifting the wrinkle norm, and then lay it over that shoulder, and that's only part of the job.
Yeah, only part of the job, all right, John, because you've got to get this front side off first, and then you've got to come down the back side. So a hell of a job on these big wethers, these big monster merino wethers from deep in the South Island. The South Island's high country, and a big thanks to Alan Patterson for organising these sheep for us once again. Way into the long blow for Brett Roberts, but finishing the long blow on stand number 1 and turning for home already is Pairata Abraham. He's the Masterton man on stand number 1. Way through the long blow, Cam Ferguson. He's a machine, ladies and gentlemen, this fella. Ringakaha Pawai's had a very good day. In fact, he's had a very good second half of the competition season. He's proved himself time and time again. Up and coming, open gun, Ringakaha Pawai. So is Brett Roberts, Ethan Pankhurst. Very, very capable young shearer as well down there on stand number 5. Johnny Kirkpatrick. He needs no introduction to shearing sports fans down there on stand number 6. He lifts the leg, comes down, wipes all the fribs off under the leg, which there is a lot of. And right out onto the back leg he rolls, but it's going to be Pairata Abraham, ladies and gentlemen, stepping into the pen first. The rest of the field trailing, not by much so, but the last leg on a big merino weather can take a fair bit of hauling off. Brett Roberts is out on the board. He's not far away from Pairata. Cam Ferguson, Ringa Pawai, Ethan Pankhurst. In goes Johnny Kirkpatrick. Kerry down the far end. These guys got the first sheep out and the second one on the board. Well, Ethan only seconds away from doing so.
That's right, Norm. PGG Wrightson's Wool National Shearing Circuit Final. Ladies and gentlemen, there is two of your local boys here. Wairarapa Abraham, stand 1. Ethan Pankhurst, stand number 5. Sheep 2 on the board of these big merino wrinkly weathers. Undermine sign for Cam Ferguson. Abraham, up the neck he goes. Wrinkle, he pulls out that big roadmap. These sheep are not easy, ladies and gentlemen. They are big, wrinkly merinos, traditionally shorn in the South Island, ladies and gentlemen. These have been brought up all the way from Alexandra for this National Shearing Circuit Final. And it's a great credit to Alan Patterson, ladies and gentlemen, and we thank him very, very much. Up the neck goes your local boy, stand 5. Ethan Pankhurst rolls himself round the shoulder. Johnny Kirkpatrick, ladies and gentlemen, he is our current world individual shearing champion, and he will turn for home. Gerald, a great final so far.
Yeah, they're ticking away. You're right, Kerry. Of course, Johnny Kay is also the reigning champion of this, so he's got everything at stake here right at the moment. But your reputation doesn't go far here. It gets you on the board, but once again, you're only as good as your last game, or in this case, your last final. But Johnny Kay, he's pretty reliable on the journey home. He goes of his second merino. Brett Roberts, the Matara boy. He's got some wrinkles to get round. You heard about the wrinkles earlier in the commentary. It's like a blueprint. Every one is different from the one before and the one after. So you've got to work your way around here. Very, very difficult when there's so many wrinkles and the skin is so soft, it's so delicate. You can't go throwing a heap of steel at it. It could end up really bad, all pear-shaped, that's what they'd call it. But Brett Roberts is now on the journey home. He's getting to the easier places where there's less of that loose skin. On to the last side he goes. But yes, Wairarapa Abraham on the front stand here, in and around the fertiliser works, and 2 shots up the back. He'll be getting ready just to take the top knot off. We've got those horns in there, you'll see, folks. See the horns, how they go in and around. They've got to be really careful in and around here. And it's a art to get in and about. Up the neck he goes now. Roberts is in. How's Johnny Kirkpatrick? He's to the undermine. Don't forget about Cam Ferguson there. Up he goes. He's got a lot of wrinkles to work round too. Have a look at this. See him swirling his way up there. Made it look easy, but that's years and years of practice, John, as he comes up the second side of the wrinkle now and into around the horns and the ear.
Yeah, very difficult to caution. You don't want to knock your comb around as you go around those horns on the top of the head. They're very, very hard. They've been battering against stones all their life trying to find a feed. So they're as hard as the hobs of hell, as we would say in the old terms. And Ferguson now, he's starting to throw the big wheel in. Look at him rolling up the long blow. Stand number 2. He's going out after Wairarapa Abraham. Johnny Kirkpatrick just slipped back off the pace a little bit now. One more difficult merino. If he can find one more difficult than the other, he's certainly got one. Look at the neck on that one. It's as ugly as heck. Under the shoulder, he's about to swing now, but it's on the top of the shoulder. The money side of the sheep, Cam Ferguson. He says, I need to keep the hammer down, and he's coming over the top, and he's chasing after Abraham. Here on the front, Masterton, you might need to wake up a little bit in your calls. Get Wairarapa back in the front. Out the last leg, they come together, stands 1 and 2. Into the long blow goes Paiwai on number 3. Long blow approaching now for Roberts on 4. Change of steel, put a more rounder comb on. So the corridors are just a little bit more open in the fleece. Similar type of fibre, but just a little bit coarser. Easier to enter. Here they go. They'll use the same comb when they go onto the long walls in the next section. Another 2 in the pen for Cam Ferguson. He's got away from Johnny Kirkpatrick down the far end. Ethan Pankhurst is coming over the shoulder on the last side. Working hard as Roberts, the big young fella, on 4. Down the last side come Paiwai, but it's up to the 2 in the front's 2 stand. And I think it might be Ferguson, Normie. He's going to go on strong.
He's got a good sheep and he's making the most of it. Cam Ferguson on stand number 2. Round over the last front shoulder in his first of his corridors. Putter to Abraham. Long blow time for Pies. Ring of Paiwai. Finish with the big merino weathers. Had enough of them and he's in for a corridor. Brett Roberts just about to do the same. Ethan Pankhurst switches over hand pieces. Johnny Kay does the same down there on stand 6. So all these competitors out with the first of the big Corridor U's. A wee bit coarser in the wool. They're a mid-micron breed, these ones. A wee bit more open, a wee bit better combing. You can sit the comb right down on the skin and not too many of those big ugly old wrinkles that similar to John McBride's neck up there on these sheep. So a wee bit easier to get around. So don't forget, folks, the winner of this event gets the lease for 1 year of that Hyundai Santa Fe. What a fantastic prize that is. $500 cash up for grabs as well, plus $1,500 PGG Wrightson voucher, plus, of course, the PGG Wrightson National Circuit Winners Ribbon, which is the one they all want, ladies and gentlemen. That's what they're up there competing for. And Cam Ferguson making every blow a winning one as he turns around down over the last front shoulder. Pairata Abraham won't let him go. Well, no, all the rest of these guys, but big Cam Ferguson on stand number 2. Punches his way down into the flank. A former world champion, this man. He knows how to win big on this stage, Kerry.
Yeah, he's a beautiful shearer, Norman, without taking anything away from these other guys, but he is one of the better ones in the field. He is an ex-world champion, ladies and gentlemen. Down and out the flank goes Pairata Abraham, your local hero, ladies and gentlemen. Get him behind him. Come on, Pi. Sheep number 6 on the board for him. Brett Roberts, the pride of the South, Matara boy. Out comes sheep 5 for him. Ethan Pankhurst, 5 on the board for him. Johnny Kirkpatrick down the first egg. Undermine sign for him. And he'll step up and break that neck well open. Take the cheek well and he'll work his way around the shoulder. But it's still the boy, the man they call Cam Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen. And Pairata Abraham chasing him hard. He said, you better go, Cam. You want to beat me, boy? You better go. Down and out the flank he goes, and Cam goes into 5th gear, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Out goes sheep number 6 into the pen for 7, Gerald.
Into the pen for the long wools now. Okay, slightly different, a stronger type of wool. Very few wrinkles now. Cam will be enjoying this. In goes Pairata Abraham. He'll be enjoying this, ladies and gentlemen. He starts the motor and starts bearing it into the belly wall, but up the neck goes Cam. Ringakaha Pawai. He has had a sensational weekend here at the Golden Shears, and he'll be leaving it all on the board. So all you Southerners need to get busy and get him behind these 2 Southern boys up there. Brett Roberts right beside him from Matura. Up the neck he goes too. It's all action. And then, of course, you've got your man down there on stand 5, Ethan Pankhurst. And then Johnny Kay, a favourite of favourites, into the base of the ear. He fires up and round the back of the head, making it look so easy. But Cam Ferguson hitting roughly the halfway point here. Pulls it out, stretches the back, gives the back a bit of a stretch. Then into the belly wall, had to really break that. The sweat's starting to pour off him now, really starting to develop a lot of colour. Pairata Abraham's hoping that all his hard work before and after work, all the fitness stuff he's doing is going to pay off. And he goes. He'll be a sheep 8 too, but at this stage, Cam Ferguson is the ringer of the field, John. Up and over the head he goes.
Look at that beautiful fleece coming off there. It's a pity it wasn't worth $1 million. But these guys are making it look $1 million job. Look at them roll up the long blow. Might be a sheep or 2 between the whole lot of them, but Cam Ferguson, he says, I'm not worried. I'm out there to get the Ringers Cup in this one, and I want to take away that top prize. Just the board point showing up there above the shearers now, the big screen. That gives you an indication. It's every time they make a second cut to the wool, they put on a part of a point. In goes Cam Ferguson. He's got, 2 sheep around Ringakaha Highway. Oh, he's going away. Another one on the board. Sheep number 7 for Pankhurst. He needs to get his act together. He flew into the top 30 last night and probably knocked out a few rough spots, but he's certainly well capable of coming away here with this one. Come up over the top and down the last side comes Brent Roberts. Had a beautiful shear here at the 2019 Golden Shears. Johnny Kirkpatrick under the shoulder and down and out to the flank. But half a sheep behind now is Pairata Abraham. Is Cam Ferguson just going further and further. Down over the money side of the sheep once again. He's shaking it loose here. Ooh, what do we got to go? The second shear and the lambs. Down and out to the flank. He's going to get onto the second shear in a moment. Out the last leg. Change of gear, I suggest. He's going in with a fresh steel for the second shear, Norm.
He certainly is. Comb on will share both the second shear and the lambs, I'd imagine. Cam Ferguson, away down the belly goes sheep number 10, the first of the second shear on the board. So shearing very, very well, Cam. Starting to settle into his work, as are the rest of the shearers, though. So he will just have to keep an eye on what's happening around him. Very well aware of what goes on around him, though, because he's very, very experienced. The rest of the field on sheep number 8, all except for Pairata, who's on 9. Not for long, though. Wipes the wool off the back leg. Pairata Abraham on sheep number 9. Another couple of blows, and he's in there for 10 as well. Change of steel for the first of the second shear for Pairata Abraham. Ringakaha Pawai round the back of the head. Number 8 on the board. Brett Roberts goes in for the last of the big long wool used there down there on stand number 4. Where is Ethan Pankhurst? Stand 5, he's down over the last front shoulder. Another few blows down that last side. He'll be looking for the 9th one as well, and the last of the full wool. JK on the end stand. Johnny Kirkpatrick, the current world champion, slides up the undermine. Top knot comes off for Johnny K. Up the neck he steps. He's got his last long wool on the board. Starting to get into some sheep he's a wee bit more comfortable on. So he'll start humming. But Cam Ferguson slides down to the first hind leg. Winds his way up the backbone. Into the top of the head now. Through and up he comes up the neck. Breaks it open. Round the back of the head, the man's on fire on stand number 2. Got off to a good start on those Merinos, and that's what really counts in this event. Smack them out real quick, and you'll have set yourself up for a very good final. Kerry, these guys going well.
Oh, cracking final, Norman. I tell you, Cam Ferguson, ladies and gentlemen, I know a little bit about shearing, and I tell you, Cam Ferguson, he is having a heck of a shear here. Down and out the flank he goes. He's looking to put one round the local boy, Pairata. Come on, Cam, bore it in, boy. Remember what's up for grabs. That Hyundai prize money, Cam, and a ribbon. Come on, big fella, bore it in. He's starting to heave, ladies and gentlemen, the boy on 2. How's the diesel tank, Cam? Come on, my man, bore it in. Bore it in down the first leg he goes. Undermine sign for him. The local boy on 1. Rounding into the long blow. Sheep 11 on the board for him. Brett Roberts, the boy from Matera. Sheep number 10 on the board for him. Rounding into the long blow. Your local boy, Ethan Pankhurst. Sheep number 5 on the... Sheep number 10, stand number 5, I'll get it right. Around the shoulders he goes and drops down into the long blow. Johnny Kirkpatrick, stand 6 down there, ladies and gentlemen. Sheep number 10 on the board. Cam Ferguson, down and out the flank he goes. Sheep 12, Gerald. He is going like a cat.
He is that all right, you're dead right. He's into the Lambos now. A 3 little shot blow on the belly, and away he goes. But Pairata Abraham, he's on the sheep 12, so he's ticking away there too, and he'll hit the Lambos. But yes, Cam got off to a flying start on those Merinos, got a bit of a jump on it, and then he just pulled the lead, because while those other boys are trying to tidy the Merino up, you can get a good Coraldale round them, as that's what happened basically. Away he goes now on the long blow. How's a Ringakaha Pawai. He'll be keeping the head down and the buttocks up. So is Johnny Kirkpatrick. Oh, look at him. He will never chuck the towel on this man down on the bottom stand. Out the toenails he goes. Another beautiful one. What's that? Sheep 11. So the 12th one's arriving. How's Brett Roberts from Matora. The boy, he's on the journey home of 11-2. There's a lot can happen, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the speed stakes happening. All the drama and the glitz and glamour of that sure thing. But we've got judges on the board for a reason, and we've got judges out the back for a reason. The board's up, the points up above, and the TV screen will give you a bit of an idea how they're going. It looks very close. Doesn't look like there's too many Hollywoods going on right at the moment. So Cam Ferguson on number 14. Up and round the back of the ears he goes. Flicks it round towards the world-renowned long blow, this little wee Lambo. This takes a critical amount of ability, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to swap from those big wrinkly Merinos onto the Coraldales, onto full wool, crossbred, heavy wool, onto second shear, and now onto these Lambos. That's a big adjustment you've got to make right here on the big stage at the Golden Shears. John will let you bring Cam home with one left standing in the pen as he goes for the catching pen door.
Oh, I think he might have had the good draw on those second shear sheep. They were just little honeys. And he flew them out. A little bit more tension chucked onto the comb and cutter then. He said, I want this comb to last this final 30 shots. Up over the top with one shot. Look at him, one up the backbone. Now he's up the neck. Going away from Parada Abrahams. He's on sheep number 14 on the money side of it. And goes Ethan Pankhurst down there. He's still got 3 to shear. Long blow time for Johnny Kay on sheep number 13. But over the top comes Cam Ferguson in 18 minutes and 7 seconds. And I said they'd do it under 20, and he's coming down and out to the flank. He's flying down the last side, ladies and gentlemen. Why, power, put your hands for him. He's going to knock this out in 18-20. 18-20.
And the rest of the field carry on while Cam Ferguson straightens his back. He leans on his pen. Quite happy to see it empty, I bet. Ooh, bit of liquid going in there. I don't blame you, Cam. Round the back of the head for Pilot Abraham. He's on his 15th and final sheep. Brett Roberts steps in for sheep number 14. So there's one left in the pen for Brett. 2 left in there for Ringer. Ethan Pankhurst, can't see the number down there. Johnny Kirkpatrick, he's got 1 left in the pen as well.
13
for Ethan, 14 now. So he backs out with number 14. 1 left in the pen there for Ethan. And Ringapawai, number 13 on the board, but don't count this boy out. He's been shearing very, very well. The quality's everything but pied out to Abraham, ladies and gentlemen. Bring him home. Give him a big hand on stand number 1. As he lets that one slide down the chute to the judges out the back. And the rest of the field working their way through the last pen. So speaking of the judges out the back, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a look at page 24 in your program, if you're new to the sport, and it'll explain just briefly how the judging process works. Page 24 in your program, Judging in a Nutshell it's called. So have a look at that, then you might get a wee bit of a better understanding of what's going on up there, because to be fair, with the way these guys are shearing, we haven't got time to tell you. Ringapawai, first hind leg turns and slides in towards the backbone. 1-2 big sweeping blows, and then up the backbone, what we call the undermine. Top knot comes off. Sheep number 14 on the board. Round into the back of the head and around the back of the head he rolls. Brett Roberts does the same thing, but he's a sheep ahead on stand number 4. Stand number 5, Ethan Pankhurst. He's up the neck on 15. Johnny Kirkpatrick right out to the toe. The current world champion. Oh, gives a bit of a kick in a regular, but he's got it under control. Let it go, Johnny. He hits the red button. And straightens his back. So the rest of the field, Kerry, coming home. Ringapawai, Brett Roberts, Ethan Pankhurst. Ringapawai, another sheep in the pen, but down comes Brett Roberts, ready for the red button. Ethan Pankhurst there as well, Kerry. Brett Roberts reached for the button. He stretches his back. Well done, Brett.
Down and out the flank, ladies and gentlemen, your man on stand number 5, the local boy, ladies and gentlemen, Ethan Pankhurst. And that leaves Ringapawai. Up the neck he goes and around the shoulder. He has been shearing very, very well, ladies and gentlemen. He has made shearing finals throughout the country. He has chased this work from north to south. He is a credit to the shearing industry. And down and over the last side, Gerald, I'll let you bring him home, big man. There we go.
Thanks very much there. Yeah, Ringapawai, good man. On the journey home. Get ready to put your hands together. He's been hard out. He's left himself out there. 21 minutes, 32 seconds, 33. Ringapawai, what a sensational share by him.
Yeah, boy.
And what a great final.
Don't count that man out, ladies and gentlemen. See the way that last sheep was shorn. Just went out beautiful. One more big hand, ladies and gentlemen. The PGG Wrightson National Circuit finalists up there looking for a winner.
Oh, yeah.
Out of those 6 shearers in the red ribbon, of course, the Hyundai Santa Fe, $500 cash, $1,500 PGG Wrightson voucher, and the big red ribbon. Let's have a bit more shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. Cool. I love that sort of stuff.
in West Virginia, with the Ridge Mountain, chilling on the river. But I was older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like the breeze. Don't you roads take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama. Take me home, country roads. All the memories I gather round her, when the master lady straight into blue water, dark and dusty, fading on the sky, when the misty takes the moonshine, see that to country roads. Take me home to the place where I
Hi, I'm Brent Gear, and we're going to find out today a little bit more about what Trust House is and how much they contribute to the community. I'm here with Alan from Trust House to find out a little bit more about what Trust House is.
Yeah, thanks, Brent. Trust House Limited is a community-owned organisation. We own, operate and manage close to $100 million of community-owned assets. Masterton Community Trust is a major shareholder and we distribute over $4 million back to the communities in which we trade.
Tell us about the Trust House Foundation. How does that work?
Yeah, Trust House Foundation distributes annually close to $4 million back by the way of grants through its gaming operations. And we have gaming operations that spread as far as, Pururua, right up to Paitua in northern Wairarapa.
It sounds like everything Trust House does is about the community.
Yeah, Trust House's core purpose is to enhance community well-being. That's one of the fundamental cores of the organisation. And we're immensely proud of what we put back into this community. Last year, over $4.2 million was returned back to the communities in which we trade in. Myself and all of the staff and stakeholders that are associated with Trust House are immensely proud of what we do.